get back up.
You better call back in down to finish. I don't play, get down and get it. Talk about that, now, on God, I'm litty. I know that you tryna go be. Better run up the cash, you love to spend. Better kill it in 10, I'm down to win. I can't feel bad about it. I know you sad about it.
Know you sad about it. Know you sad about it.
I'm moving too fast, I can't stop. Wiping it down with the paint hot. Left hand on the wheel. I'm closing the top when the raindrop. I'm keeping the game in the headlock. When throwed and blinded my dreadlock. In the end zone with the mad dot. One phone call, get it dead stop. I feel like I own the season. Say one thing, just give me a reason. Knowing you're mad, I'm undefeated. Top dog, making it even.
Oh, I had to get back up.
Back up.
I had to get back up.
I can't take no loss. You better call back up. I'm running it down to finish. I don't play, get down and get it. Talk about that, come slide, I'm with it. Better see me now, on God, I'm litty. I know that you tryna go be. Better run up the cash, you love to spend. Better kill it and did it again. I'm with it 10, I'm down to win. I can't feel bad about it. I know you sad about it.
Know you sad about it. Know you sad about it.
Tell me what you want, what you need. Tell me what you wanna give. How much blood would you bleed? I'ma tell you I'm a misconceiver. I'm a believer. Someone better kick my fever. Tell me it's 100 degrees underneath my whole flesh. Everyone tells me it's a bit of a mess. Someone tell the risk I was never at the end. I would never get the.
The NFL on EA Sports has come to the Twin Cities at US Bank Stadium in downtown Minneapolis. It can certainly get loud inside this building, and just a few moments ago when the Vikings were introduced, it was downright shaking in here. They're set for football as the Vikings get ready to do battle with the Baltimore Ravens. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
Switch up, switch up. He's coming. Double up, double up. He's coming. Rhino.
The first carry now for Dalvin Cook, and he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
Expression 3 yards in a cloud of dust. In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people have to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
A really nice gain of 25 yards.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially those pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
They run again on first down. Cook. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. A gain of 13. It's a first down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
3 yards is the gain that time, second and goal. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball. And sometimes it just happens naturally. And then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on.
Trying to finish off this opening drive from the 3. This is third and goal.
Gun.
They run. Abdullah. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Vikings take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. Bailey got the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Ravens take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now first and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Operating from the gun, Jackson. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete.
I don't care what game it is. Everyone's always looking for an early advantage, an early break, and they almost had one there. That should have been an interception. Nice catch. Just couldn't get his feet down in bounds.
And offensively lucky to have that one back. Second and 10. Here's Jackson again. He's going deep for Brown. And that's caught inside the 30. And all the way down to the 26. A big play there for Baltimore. 49 yards. Now it's Jackson. Letting one go deep for the end. And oh, it'll be intercepted. Picked up by the Pro Bowler, Anthony.
Defense in a really tough spot.
Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And certainly they'll be hoping to hit pay dirt like they did on the last drive. Got the football back, so a chance to go up 2 scores.
And they haven't been tentative at all in this ball game because sometimes you start a game with your script to try and get information out of the opposing defense. How will they play you in certain situations? Sometimes you script to attack, and that's what I'm seeing so far.
From the 32 now, here's first and 10.
Gun.
Back to the ground, this time Cook. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Gun.
A second down run for Abdullah. And still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to third down.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Gun.
They'll run here. Abdullah. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. And some room to maneuver. And he's finally down at the 21-yard line. A big hitter. That one goes for 40 yards. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. Looking for Diggs, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Patrick Onwuasor. He's at the 50, 30, the 20, 10, and he will bring this back. It's a pick 6 and a Raven touchdown. Short throw pick 6 right there. Those linebackers, they love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This one taken just inside the 10. Oh, good move. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And last time, decent field position through the pick 6. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So the last one didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position and not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
On 2nd down, Cook. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Cousins. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. Thielen with his first catch, and it's a first down. He's been the forgotten man in this first half. Not a guy you want to forget. Not only his first catch, first time they've targeted him.
That doesn't make any sense, does it?
Not
because
at all.
Those are the types of plays that he provides. When he does come alive, when they do look his way, not only is it a big catch, it's a first down.
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
At the 46-yard line.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
Let's get there. 49.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. All knotted up at 7. A reminder, coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will join us from Orlando with our halftime report, but business to take care of before we get there.
A 2-minute drill before the coach's 2-minute drill.
Black. Hey, wahoo! Gun!
On 2nd and 11 now. Cousins. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. The previous play, they barely got back to the line of scrimmage. Now they pick up over 30 yards.
But we spent a lot of time exalting the offensive masterminds in this game, right? They draw up these beautiful plays. They look so perfect up on the board. But occasionally, sometimes you just say, throw it up and let him go get it.
How about that play?
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. From the gun, here's Cousins. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. The Vikings on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is going to be 3rd and 13.
Hey, high 7.
Hey, alert 48. Alert. Hey, we don't like the 48 right now. Let's go. Watch the curl. Watch the curls. 48. 48's Mike. 48's Mike.
First.
Hey, defense, let's go. Pick it up, D.
Smooth.
Kill. Hey, turn it out.
Working out of the gun, Cousins. And that is incomplete.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. So Cousins heads to the Vikings sideline, and on is Dan Bailey to try the field goal. They'll spot it at the 30, so this is a 40-yard attempt. And Bailey able to knock it through. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, and the net result, 3 points.
Take your disappointment and put it aside. 9 plays. Yeah, they want to end up in the end zone with a touchdown. I get that. But sometimes those 9-play drives pay dividends later with another 9-play drive that culminates in a touchdown when they wear down a defense.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. You're down 3, under a minute to go. How aggressive are you going to be in this spot?
Not as aggressive as I probably would want to be. Only down 3. I mean, it might as well be even going into the half. That's not a deficit that makes me want to push it and potentially make a mistake in this situation and cost myself even more points.
But, boy, getting into field goal range and tying it, that's tempting.
Awfully enticing. You almost talked me into it. It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Anthony Barr comes rumbling in for the sack. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as the clock will go before halftime. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. Setting up the screen here to Edwards. So troubles here offensively. I tell you, the noise in this dome, that has got to make it harder for these guys to hear.
Sometimes I find myself shouting up here. But you're right. If you can't communicate well or get off the snap count properly, it can cause big problems, and this qualifies as a big problem.
Come on, baby. Let's go.
Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on 1st down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
Going for the deep ball. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining.
Brings up 2nd and 10.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. Not wanting to take a chance this time, they'll keep it on the ground. And he'll just keep two hands on the football as he'll be taken down after a short pickup. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more. And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line.
25, check 25, check 25. Like 40.
From the gun, Jackson. Now he'll let it go deep over the middle. And that's caught inside the 30. There goes Mark Ingram. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Mark Ingram, 75 yards. And the Ravens have retaken the lead. And he is going to go down back at the 11-yard line. And in the third quarter here, they were trying to push that to a 3-point game, but instead it'll stay at 1.
And I'm a big proponent of not chasing points or going for two too early. But in this case, I understand why. You know, if you kick an extra point, you're just up 2, right? So a field goal still puts the other team ahead. So you go for 2 here and protect the field goal lead. They didn't get it done, though.
Watch the screen, watch the screen. Watch the screen.
Gun.
He's checking. Crash.
They start the drive with Cook. Matt Judon there to bring him down.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run.
At the 22-yard line.
Again, it's Cook. Cook able to escape. And out across midfield down to the 45. That one good for 33 and a first.
This is a little bit like baseball here. Strong up the middle. Both sides want to be that. In this case, the offense ended up winning the ultimate battle.
And those big runs between the tackles, that's a little deflating for a defense, isn't it?
It really is, because that's where your strength's supposed to be. You're supposed to be in a spot where they can't make that yardage there. You're supposed to send them outside. Not in this case.
Tackle made there by Chris Wormley.
And this is why aggressive defense coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Again, it's Abdullah. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 11 yards there, first down.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. First down, here's the run with Cook. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
A handoff to Abdullah. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. 12 yards there and a first down.
This has been a good drive so far, and it's been the running game for the most part that's powered them down there. Another nice burst there, picking up a first down. Now it's 1st and 10, as you said, in the red zone.
They'll run on first down. It's Cook. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. 2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. They'll try to run it in with Abdullah. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Amir Abdullah, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Vikings have once again taken the lead. Mike Zimmer's made the decision. His guys will go for 2. one knocked away and incomplete. Nice job defensively on what will be the final play of the third quarter. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis, where the fourth quarter will begin with a kickoff following the score on the final play of the third quarter. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Here's Jackson operating from the gun. Forced out to his left. And he rifles one incomplete. He was looking for Nick Boyle that time. And it's second down. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
Jackson now on 2nd and 10. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football, because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion, and both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
And that's caught inside the 30. It's a big play there for Baltimore. 52 yards. That pass was heavily defended on third down, but you know what? He's one of the best in the league at body control, and he showed you why. Oh, he just needed to throw it away, but instead, out of bounds he goes, and that's a sack. He lost 9 there. That's really going to set him back for second down. Throwing on 2nd and long. Jackson. Oh, no, he lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Trying to erase that deficit all at once. One big shot. He took it. Unfortunately for him, incomplete.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. They'll try and throw for it with Jackson. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. The Ravens go for it, but come up empty. And the Vikings, they have the football now in excellent field position.
Gun.
On 1st down, Abdullah. And across midfield he goes into Raven territory. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Cousins now. Blitz coming, and down he goes. It's a safety blitz and a sack for Earl Thomas. And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They're looking at a 4th down now as they try to hold on to this lead for dear life. 4th down, Cousins. find Thielen working the middle. That one a backbreaker as they wind up converting there on fourth. Felt compelled to go for it there on fourth down, trailing in the fourth quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a fourth down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You still have to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
They're not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. Tackle made there by Tony Jefferson. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 1:06 left to go in the game.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Check 48, the mic. Come on, the ball.
Gun.
Here's Cousins. Going to throw deep for the end zone. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down.
When teams take shots at the end zone, you've got to defend it the same way you would defend the first down sticks. You defend the goal line exactly the same way. They can't cross that. You play through the receivers. And on that play, that's exactly what they did and batted it away.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6.
Receiver.
Hey, look, 48. Look, hey, we don't like the 48 right now. Let's go. I'm trying to collect.
Hey, Delta.
The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6.
Check 48's the mic. Check 48's the mic. We got it.
Go.
Mike 48. You remember me? Let's go.
Gun.
Hey, look, 48. Look, hey, we don't like the 48 right now. Let's go.
Cousins. He goes full extension, and he's got it. A big gain there, and that should certainly be enough to put this one in the win column.
I'd have to say that whenever you see a good post route run, they do not like to let it in without the catch. Hence, that great diving play.
Yeah, lay it up there, let him go get it, and he got it. It'll be a 3-yard pickup, and it brings up 2nd and goal. Throwing here, Cousins to the goal line, but it's incomplete. The safety that time, Tony Jefferson there on the coverage.
3rd down and 1.
They've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? They'll run for it with Cook. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. And now we'll get a timeout here. They're able to stop it with 1 second to go in this game. Here we go, a big play in a tight game late. They're going on 4th and goal.
Switch.
They'll run for it. Cook, he's fighting, but they're not going to let him in. Stopped at the 2-yard line. Well, no doubt an electrifying finish to have it down inside the 10-yard line. That final shot, though, they